Well, just in case you're only just tuning in, it's been a fabulous Fashion Friday here on Expresso with wall-to-wall male models, woohoo, and the hottest designers in the country. This is the first ever SA Menswear Week, and where there's fashion, there's the Fash Pack. Joining me in studio this morning is, of course, Alexis May, our fashion director, and our very special guest from Josie, Foley and Krishen Samuel. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Fash Pack couch.
Yay.
It's so good. It's really, really so good. So, guys, I want to know from you. Of course, Menswear Fashion Week kicked off. What's your experience been so far? I mean, have you enjoyed it? Have you been blown away?
It's been really, really amazing. Last night was the first night and we saw some really fantastic up-and-coming designers.
Yeah.
So one of those was Richard Nisi, and we absolutely loved his show.
Yeah.
He was on trend as always, fantastic use of prints, some of the sporty elements coming through, but a little bit playful in terms of like a sleepwear line coming through, some sleepwear influences. So we've actually had a fantastic start thus far.
Fantastic. Alan, you too?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually kind of done like a trend report of what we think is happening this year.
Yeah.
So we were quite keen to see if our local designers were tapping into what's going on in the international market, and what we've seen last night proves that they actually are.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, Alexis, this is the very first local menswear fashion week to happen. What does this mean for the industry? Because I get so excited about menswear and fashion and where it's taking men in general.
You know, I don't know if you guys will agree, but it always felt like the menswear locally in the industry was kind of swept under the rug a little bit.
Yeah.
So we saw it, a little bit of it at our major fashion weeks, but it was always a little bit of an afterthought, like, oh, and the token menswear show. You know, whereas now they have like their own space that they can show on. And really, I think it will develop the industry, because now the designers have to step up.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of expectation on them and a lot of challenges, but I think these challenges, they really do breed good work. And we've seen great evolution in the women's wear space in the past 5 years. So I'm expecting really to see the same in menswear. I think it'll be exciting times.
Very, very exciting times. Now, Alan, you mentioned that you were working on a trend report. Give us your top 3 trends of what we can expect to see in the world of men's fashion in the coming year.
Okay, well, there's an interesting trend that's coming through, which actually translates from women's fashion.
Yeah.
Last year, when Rihanna stepped onto the red carpet, I think it was at the Fashion Council Awards, in that see-through dress.
Yes.
That caused quite a stir in the international community, and we thought that's going to kind of come through into what's happening in ladies' wear, which it did, because at the Channel O Awards, we saw 2 of our local celebs come in dresses that left very little to the imagination.
Very little to the imagination.
And of course, you did that at the Met on Saturday.
Well,
you had a see-through skirt. Yes,
somewhat.
you did.
So we saw the sheer fabric coming through there as well.
Yeah, true.
So we've
But
seen
now,
the sheers coming through.
Yeah, and I mean, it's now coming through into menswear a lot faster than we imagined it would.
Yeah.
We've seen some of Craig Jacobs stuff that's been a bit sort of see-through. Palladies has been a bit see-through. So that's a big trend at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another trend that we're seeing coming through, and especially for menswear, it's quite an important one, is the practicality and the functionality.
Oh, wow.
So we're seeing functional clothing. It's a lot more, the emphasis is more on comfort. So it's almost, you know, in resistance to the skinny jeans trend that we've had in the last few years and so forth. We're seeing looser fitting clothes, more sporty elements. There's definitely the emphasis on comfort, but while still remaining stylish. So it's almost as though it's a futuristic trend and very functional, which we love.
Fantastic.
And absolutely for women's wear as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially women are really kind of grabbing onto that now. Like, yeah, we can wear flat shoes and comfortable clothes.
Exactly.
Really embracing it.
Excellent stuff. And then the last tip, or is that all 3 in there?
The last one I would say, I think a really, really interesting one is that there's this focus on the 1970s. So we're seeing 1970s inspired fashion, especially for women. Handcrafted elements, knitwear coming through. And you know, it's not necessarily the disco 70s, it's more the handcrafted elements from the 70s coming through. Tassels, we love tassels.
Love tassels. Tassel-tastic.
Well, I love the Fash Pack. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Alan,
you.
Krishen, you guys are so welcome to come back any single time. And of course, Alexis, our girl, keeping us updated on everything that we need to know when it comes to fashion. We are serving up a big helping of fashion on our breakfast show, so come and get it while it's hot. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.